Women refuse to settle for less in 2025, says Bumble. So shout out to my subscriber, Hector. Hector sent me this little article to read from a website, Business World. I don't know if there's any legitimacy to this website. I'm highly suspicious of any website online these days. But nonetheless, it's a quick article I want to read to you guys and talk about a little bit. Dating in 2025, women refuse to settle for less, says Bumble. Let's jump into this because I do have some opinions I want to share on this. It says Bumble, the global dating app that empowers women to make the first move, which off the jump is BS. A lot of women are still on Bumble, and Bumble is making men make the first move. So again, a lot of women aren't serious. They're just sitting on Bumble like the other apps, getting attention and validation to fuel their narcissistic fuel tank. But I digress. Blah, blah, blah. Let me start over. Bumble, the global dating app that empowers women to make the first move, has unveiled its 2025 dating trends. After shifting away from the pursuit of perfection and prioritizing emotional openness and shared values in 2024, the year 2025 is described as a transitional year for women as they embrace greater self-honesty and refuse to make compromises. Well, somebody needs to tell them you always make compromises in a relationship, so you're off to a very bad start. How am I pronouncing this? Mei Hui Chen, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that properly, communications lead for Bumble in Asia Pacific, said that out of 41,294 Gen Z and millennial Bumble members surveyed worldwide, nearly 2 in 3 female respondents, 64%, said Filipino women are determined to not compromise or alter their standards just to find a partner. Now, I can stop right there and just go into a complete tyrant about these women's unrealistic standards. Instead, they're going all in on everything they want and deserve. Everything they want and deserve. Who says what you deserve? I wonder if everyone's opinion matters there or just your own narcissistic opinion. With a renewed sense of hope and sureness that what they're looking for is out there. Let me assure you, it's probably not. Ms. Chen said in a written interview, it's not like a checklist to fulfill, but rather women prioritizing more intangible characteristics that they think their partners should have, Ms. Chen added. Now, more people are taking a step back to figure out what truly matters to them in a relationship. They're determined to find something real and lasting. And for women, this shift is huge. So right off the jump, let me say something. This kind of shit makes me laugh because as I read this, 64% of these women, yada, yada, yada. Why do so many women think that they are just such princesses that they're just entitled to the world? Where does this come from? How does so many women get so narcissistic to where they are just getting off on not settling for anyone? Does anybody realize how miserable this is making women? Like, women are more, I would say, some of you guys might disagree with this. Women are as much, if not more miserable in the end with this kind of a shitty dating market. I don't know why more people aren't like telling these women, grabbing them by the ears and saying, listen, you are chasing a fairy tale that doesn't exist. This is a reoccurring thing that I hear all the time. Women saying word for word, I'm not going to compromise, I'm not going to settle. But it's like, who do you think that you are? Yeah, everybody's going to compromise in a relationship. That's how this works. Who's popularized this never ever settling and never ever compromising on anything? Like, the narcissism is just unchecked right now. The insane narcissism is just unchecked with women. And again, I'll say what I've said before. Not even trying to be mean. I'm not a black pill doom and gloomer. I love women. I look for the best in women, but most of them are absolutely insane with where they think they land on a desirability scale for most men. And I'll say it again. Most women are not even physically as attractive as they think they are. They're not. All these women out here that are wearing tons of makeup, fake eyelashes, fake hair, fake boobs, probably a fake ass, filters and lip filler and fake fingernails and all, like, they still don't look that good, most of them. If you take the makeup off of most of these women, they look horrible. Horrible. Most women don't age that well. I'm almost 40 years old, and there's not one woman that I went to school with who looks nearly as young as I do. Because I never drank, I never smoked, I never did anything else. I always tried to exercise. And I've gone through a way more stress than most people with work and losing people and all this bullshit. Can you imagine if my life wasn't as stressful as it has been? A lot of women, this narcissism and this entitlement and this endless attention that you get, it causes you to get very complacent and very lazy. I'm surprised for as much time as you women spend in the mirror, you don't see what's going on before your very eyes. You don't realize how much you've aged and how much you've let yourself go by being the toxic, cool party girl that gets all the attention. I've seen that a lot in my life. I've seen girls that were the hot girl, had fun partying with all the cool guys, but the party never stopped until one day they wake up and they're a ragged-ass streetwalker, literally. In fact, one of my buddies sent me a screenshot. I think it was off of Facebook or a dating app. I don't remember, but he sent me a screenshot about 2 weeks ago of a girl that we went to school with, and I think she was like a year younger than me. And I remember her being just the hottest, cool girl in the school. I didn't even recognize her. She looked like she could have been my mom. So busted, the wall hit her. The wall hit her at 1,000 miles an hour. It was like Sonic the Hedgehog when he loses all of his rings or whatever. You guys remember that video game? The wall hit her and she lost everything. As much as people try to like bash men that talk about dating and stuff, I truly feel for most of these women. Men get mad when women talk like this because they get kind of their ego hurt. Like, oh, I'm not good enough for you. I'm fortunately somebody that's had pretty good luck with dating women as far as options go. Even on these trashy dating apps. Unlike most men, I've been able to have a lot of like success on dating apps. I don't call it success because none of the women are worth a damn. None of them are worth dating. But I've had good success as far as like getting attention from women on dating apps. But most women out here, they're the ones that are going to suffer the most because there's so much gaslighting in our media when dating topics come up and people try to like shame men and talk about men being lonely and sad. It's like, no, bro, you can laugh all you want and say stupid shit like that. I've said this before and I'll say it again. The vast, vast majority of men will be just fine without a woman in their life. The vast, vast majority of women will not and cannot be just fine without a man in their life. The problem is we have just embraced such toxic hookup culture and narcissism that women think you're trying to fence them in by telling them not to be a whore. They think you're trying to be controlling by telling them, don't stop being a whore. Nobody wants to marry a whore. Well, let me rephrase that. No self-respecting man that you deem to be attractive wants to marry that. No, none of you women are getting married. Like, you guys talk all you want about not settling. You don't have any options. Nobody wants to marry your ass. Like, when people make these videos, we're trying to wake women up too. Like, everyone thinks this is coming from a place of hatred. No, I don't hate women at all. I'm telling you guys, you're miserable. Women are miserable. And that's in their beautiful primes. Can you guys imagine how bad it's going to be when the wall hits you like Sonic the Hedgehog and you lose all your rings, you lose everything? The looks fade? Like, bro, I cannot imagine how much money Big Pharma is going to make off of these psych meds with my generation and the generation below me. Oh, my Lord. Most girls I talk to out here are already on tons of meds. In fact, the last two serious relationships I had, one of the biggest problems that made me check out and end things is I found out these women were on a bunch of psych meds. It's like, dude, I can just ramble in this video forever, but this article made me laugh because, again, it's just showing more women that have this. Is unrealistic the right word? Regardless of whether it's unrealistic or not, they just have this insane mentality of looking for some perfect Prince Charming that literally does not exist. It doesn't even exist to them. Most women could build the perfect man and they won't be happy. So again, this article's made me laugh. Made me laugh. I just don't know what to say to this anymore. The dating apps are just pure toxic garbage. They just embrace narcissism. They create narcissism. Social media is the same thing. People with endless options cannot choose. It's that simple. If you have endless options, it makes it very hard to choose and even harder to be satisfied with the choice when you make the choice. Why do you guys think we're having such problems in the dating market? The only thing out here is hookups. The only thing you can do is be lucky enough to be decent looking and be able to get hookups. Because nobody wants to settle anymore. Everybody thinks something better is around the corner. What do we do with that? I don't know. You tell me.